run, it's the cops.
Whether you're on the lam or you're just trying to get a leg up in the world, I'm glad you joined me for Coffee with Dubs. Come on in.
Today was Cops and Crayons. And honestly, I think today turned into a really good reminder that sometimes we need to choose our wins differently. Because if I measured today strictly through numbers, I could sit here and say, well, turnout wasn't massive. It wasn't packed shoulder to shoulder, and there weren't crowds all the way around the block. Social media has conditioned us all to feel like success counts on huge, viral, overflowing, impossible moments that no one can ignore. But life doesn't actually work like that most of the time. Real life changes happen smaller, quieter, more human. And that's what today really was. Today, I got to connect with people. I got to introduce myself to members of the community who had never even heard of me before. I got to talk about my projects, the book, the emotional side of my art, the giant coloring project, the idea of creativity bringing people together instead of pushing everyone further apart. And honestly, those conversations mattered more to me than an imaginary perfect turnout number that could have made it huge. And huge is just so unmanageable because I think one of the most dangerous things we do with ourselves nowadays is refusing to acknowledge progress unless it looks enormous immediately. We've become so conditioned to chase massive reactions that we accidentally disrespect meaningful moments that are happening right in front of us. And I catch myself doing it sometimes too, a lot more times than I'd like to admit. You start thinking, well, maybe it'll be better if more people came. Maybe it would have mattered more if it blew up online. Maybe it only counts if it's huge. But that's fear talking. That's the comparison. That's that algorithmic brain speaking in your voice. Because even if one kid walked away inspired today, even if one family connected over my art, even if one person discovered my work and felt something meaningful from it, then it's a win. And honestly, maybe the part of growing as a person is learning how to pick your wins in healthier ways, because not every victory arrives in a cinematic fashion. Sometimes the win is simply showing up. Sometimes the win is planting seeds instead of harvesting results immediately. And sometimes the win is building relationships slowly instead of chasing attention quickly. And I think we forget that because modern life constantly pushes us toward extremes. Bigger numbers, bigger reactions, bigger audiences, bigger everything. But meaningful impact usually grows slower than vanity likes to. Community, trust, recognition, legacy, they grow slowly. But slow growth isn't fake growth. Actually, most lasting things are built that way. And honestly, today reminded me why I started doing any of this in the first place. Not to chase viral moments, not to become some giant internet personality, but to create things that make people pause for a second and reconnect with something human inside of themselves. And that's what the coloring projects are about. That's what Bolt Voltage is about. That's what Coffee with Dubs is about. Connection. And connection doesn't always happen in giant dramatic moments. Sometimes it happens in small community events where conversations unexpectedly matter more than you realize they would. So maybe that's today's reminder. Pick your wins carefully, guys. Don't let the internet convince you that quiet progress doesn't count. Don't let comparison poison meaningful moments, and don't overlook the value of simply being present somewhere authentically. Because success isn't always measured by how many people showed up. Sometimes success is measured by how deeply you connected with one or two people, like I did today. And if I connected with you, I hope to see you again tomorrow for another episode of Coffee with Dubs.